Welcome to The Link tonight. And tonight we're discussing, again, business as usual, but exports. Exports is on the radar for this country to earn forex. And the game of forex, the game of exports can be tricky. So tonight we will listen to a real practitioner in this business in just a moment. Welcome back, and our guest tonight is Patience Nwasasira. Patience, welcome.
Thank you so much, Samuel.
I really have ladies. Oh, last week I had a lady. Yeah, okay, it's ladies' time now.
Yes.
Very good. Let's start with the first question. Exporting to Europe requires that you have a tough skin. That's what we think for us who are not in that business. So what must you do, or what must you have to be a successful exporter?
Tough skin, you say? Yes, you must have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the requirements, they are not something you can get in a day.
Okay.
By the time you think of being an exporter, you should know your buyer, you should have the product to export. You should also be registered from Uganda.
Registration Services Bureau.
Exactly. Yes, so you should have that export certificate.
Okay.
And we are talking about Uganda. You cannot get them in a day. You can prepare your garden and have everything ready, but when you don't have the certificate, you will not be in the export business. Okay. But it's not as tough as they say.
Okay.
They should come and they try it out.
That's a background.
Yes.
Let's say I have planted a garden, I have registered. What else should I have?
The Uganda Export Promotion Board must visit your garden before they offer you that the exporter's certificate. Then they visit your pack house as well, because you're not going to pick your items from the garden and you send them out like that directly for export. Yes. So they're supposed to visit where you're packing them from, the packing material. It should be the material for export that meets the international standards. Okay. Yes.
Let's hang around on the material for export. I thought Kavera can do Kwanza.
No, remember we are dealing with exports which are perishables, which are highly perishables. They need to be aerated. If you put in your Kavera and you tie it, let's say you have tomatoes inside, they will rot
I can imagine.
by the time they are moved from the garden up to the European market. So we have those export boxes that we buy, and they have holes to allow air to keep on penetrating through, yes, to maintain their shelf life.
So meaning I have to do some homework on the whole value chain before I come into this business.
Yes, and the Uganda Export Promotion Board is doing a great job. Yeah. If you really want to be an exporter, they can take you through. They even tell you where you can buy these things, everything that is according to the standard. They have all this information.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Like any other business, anyway, we need to do homework. So what are the most critical parts of the value chain that you must have without fail? I'm going back to that a bit.
Capital. Every business you must have capital.
Of course.
Because remember, if you don't have the produce yourself you're exporting, you're buying from outgrowers. Then for you to put your produce to the international market, they are flown by a carrier, which you must pay air freight. And most of the air freight is on prepaid basis. So you must have money. And we are talking about $1.50 per kilo. So if you're shipping 2 tons, you do the simple math, you must have the capital, I should say. Yes.
Very good. Okay, let me say I have the capital. Okay, sometimes raising capital. Let's go back to you from experience.
Yes.
How do I raise capital, for instance, in order for me to start in exports? Are there places I can go?
I'm not quite sure if you've not started before, if those places are available, but when you're ready in it, because now you have something tangible, even if you're going to the bank to ask for a loan, when you have already a farm and you have been exporting, they're able to look at your statements. So if you need more money to add in your business, it becomes easy. But if you're starting, you'd rather have some savings somewhere that you're starting on them, and then in future, if you want a loan, then you can, even the government can help. Normally it helps the outgrowers with pesticides, yes, things like that. So you must start somewhere if you want help from other external parties.
Marshalling the outgrower network.
Yes.
How do you go about that? I don't think it is easy. Kwanza, you have your own exports, you have your own product, but you need more from outgrowers. How do you marshal that network? What does it take?
Now, as exporters, we have a network. We know each other.
Okay.
Maybe me, I've specialized in exporting matoke, but this time around, my client, let's say in the Netherlands, is requesting for chili. Now, I will call my other people because they already know where to get it from.
Okay.
Because if I start doing the market survey again with the outgrowers, I may not beat the deadline. But when you call them, because we have our associations, you call the ones you trust, not everyone will be willing to give you their suppliers. Yes, that's how we operate. I don't have, I come to you, you direct me where I can get it from.
So picking from your patients, it means that networks are important in this case.
Very
in order
much
to
so.
manage.
Very much so.
Okay. What are the products that can easily find uptake in the markets that and Ugandans can manage them?
Avocado.
Okay.
Yes. You know, avocado does not need so much of taking care of as it grows up. Because if you look at most of the avocado we export, it is got from Fort Portal. And don't think people have gardens they have planted strictly avocado. Most of them are outgrowers, but trees are just around and it's just too much.
In the back of the house.
Yes, and it's a lot, it's good quality, the soils are good.
Yeah.
So you find that the avocado we get from Fort Portal is fit for export.
Okay.
For the European market, for the Middle East, because most of the small avocado goes to the Middle East.
Yeah, and there's that element you said. Some people want small ones, and they
Yes.
seem not to want big ones. So who buys the big
Now,
ones?
Ugandans here, including myself, maybe most of us, we want to get our avocado, you keep it for some days, it gets ripe and you eat it. But we were told the Indian community, they use that young avocado for sauce. They can actually slice it among their spices.
Than ripe.
Yes, than ripe. They even dry it to make some of their spices.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Indians buy the small ones. Who buys the big ones?
We have a lot of Ugandan community and maybe African communities in the EU.
Okay.
That's why you see most of the exports are eaten by those communities. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Key challenges. What are the key challenges to expect when you enter the export business? Things you know that I'm going to encounter this and I must conquer them to manage.
The supply from the outgrowers sometimes. You have an order, it's theirs, they have asked you for 4 tons, a series of items, but getting all of them is a challenge, is a big challenge. Especially we are looking at the agricultural produce, which has low shelf life. You can be able to get everything, but you would get it after a week. Now imagine matoke, which was harvested 5 days ago. It is still in Uganda. By the time it flies out, it is ripe. So when you get an order and you're supposed to deliver tomorrow, the latest you should have the matoke is today, maybe night. Then you start sorting. Because not every matoke that comes will be fit for export.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so you have to sort in terms of packing, and you come up with everything that is required for export.
Okay.
Yes.
So turnaround is one of the problems.
Yes.
Okay, what's the other one?
We have the buyers are frauds. This is happening. This we
Buffere.
have buffet. Exactly,
Okay.
that's the Luganda word I was looking for. Because what happens in most cases is, and these are people who have left Uganda or Africa, they are staying in those other countries. So they realize, they send you a proposal, you look at it, it's good. The first time they buy from you, they pay. The second time they buy from you, they pay. The third time, and this one normally happens when they ask for a big shipment.
You need to be careful.
Yes, you need to be careful. Then they keep saying, we'll send you the money. You're sending the first shipment. They tell you maybe the transfer, that's the language they like to use. The transfer is delaying. You send a second one as you wait before you realize that actually they have defrauded me. It is late, you have lost money, but you keep going.
Wow.
Yes, you keep going because you have the networks already. You can always use your networks as long as your working relationship has been good with them. You always get back on your feet slowly. But now we are learning them. That's why when they organize those trade shows, some of us are able to go there. So when you receive a proposal, they are able to tell you such and such a supermarket exists. So we have something to lean on when we enter those new markets.
Does the association know those things? For instance, if again speaking about networks, do the colleagues in the business know that okay, that one might be fake or not?
It is hard to tell because, like we have seen, most of the con men, they are the smartest. They
I
tell
can
you
imagine.
things that you want to hear. They even tell you the problems you're going to encounter. So by the time someone is sharing with you the problems you're most going to encounter, in your heart, you're like, let me go for this. And then business goes bad.
Okay.
Yes.
You talked about shippers as we were discussing. What's wrong with the shippers?
The shippers shipping out of Uganda.
Yeah. That they can also be tricky. You need to watch out for them.
Yes. These people, like for example, we have a ban on the chili.
Yes.
It is going on. The Ministry of Agriculture has issued out a directive not to ship chilies at least for 4 months.
Yeah.
This has been caused by people who take chili which does not meet the EU standards.
Certainly.
Most of the shipments are burnt. Some airports actually, when you take their consignment, on one airway bill, you had chilies on them and some other product. They banned the entire consignment irregardless.
Yeah.
And this has been quite alarming because as a country, we are putting all our exports at stake. They can wake up, European Union say, exports from Uganda, no
Out.
more, out completely. So these shippers who keep on sneaking 1 box, 2 boxes,
Of
bring
fake stuff.
yes, bring problems to us who are making sure that whatever we send out is clean.
Okay.
So we need to look into ourselves again, because if we lose, then the country is losing.
Patience, we have 1 minute. If government is to fix one thing to make more people export, what is that thing?
They need to give more capital to people who are already in this business.
Okay.
Yes, they can maybe build for them the pack houses. Most of them are lacking pack houses.
Park houses.
Yes, you know, when you have a clean pack house, even those grants that come from abroad, someone will be able to know that my product is packed well up to the standards. And yeah,
Why are they such a challenge?
Then-
Park houses.
you know, running a pack house requires a lot of electricity because you have to cool the product. And then the cost of putting up the structure. Remember, you're not, this business I'm talking about, don't think it involves billions of shillings. It's little money, 5 million.
Small people.
Yeah, so you're asking me to put up a structure which is worth 50 million. When will I make that 50 million money? Yes, so if the government comes in and then maybe says every 2 people you can share, and they put up for you a pack house. And then land, they open up land, they can maybe start leasing it out for bigger acreage. Yes. Then also trying to identify for us more market, because now we are stuck with the Netherlands as the distributing point.
Okay.
Yes.
Patience, I already said there are things I cannot ask because time has run out. Thank you very much for giving us the insight. Exporters, you had her. I cannot add, she's in the export business and she's a real player. Even I think even yesterday she was involved, so she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
You had her, and let's follow up on some of the things she has said. Thank you very much for joining us on The Link.